All right. We are 2 minutes early here, guys. I just, I love my son, but I just don't know if I always want to have his pictures behind me when I'm broadcasting. Maybe it's just a thing with me. Let me make sure she's. Jesus. You are literally vibrating the entire downstairs. All right. Jeez. Right on time as I'm starting. All right. Hello. I mean, that's one of the downfalls of just broadcasting from your house is you have other people and their things, and she likes to have this massage thing at night, and it's like the base of it travels, so it's like that. And and it was a good thing we caught it now. But that's cool. We have these modern devices where you could just, hello, I'm having a problem with this, and then like boom, the message goes and the sound stops. So I didn't think that I was going to end up broadcasting today because I was like, okay, I'm going to broadcast in the morning and I'm going to broadcast in the evening or in the afternoon. And I just was feeling kind of weird today. And then I took a nap and I think I kind of reset it. But like I was gonna start the show with some caffeine, and I don't know. I'm starting to think like the coffee. I mean, as crazy as it sounds, like it's kind of driving me crazy, and I think I kind of need to back off of it. That and I do. I've been doing like one energy drink a night, and that's been kind of like I don't know, like not at night, but like in the afternoon. Like I've been doing it around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'll finish it. So it could be a little after 3, but I'll finish it just about 4 o'clock. If not, I'll leave about like 20% of the drink left. And that little bit, um, I'll have usually when I come back, but I usually go and walk at that point about 4 o'clock. I go and walk and get my son. And I don't know. It's just especially like that's I do that once a day, and what I like about that is the B12 actually. Um, but yeah, the caffeine and the coffee. I don't know. It's like less caffeine, but it seems like it's more potent. I don't really need it. Like I don't know why I necessarily like drink it all. I'm like addicted to it. I don't really. And I like the taste. I like the smell. Um, there's a funny skit I've seen on TV with this guy going crazy and his like I think it was like blood became coffee and his urine and um I don't know, it was pretty funny. But I hope everybody's doing really well. And this is my evening show, Stream and Dream. I'm kind of like doing a bunch of shows here in this I'm in a temporary studio. Um and I plan on doing lives. I'm going to be doing some shorts soon, and that's going to be different music things. me playing guitar, me doing music stuff. I actually am going to show in a little bit my new guitar that I just got, my dream guitar, actually. I'm really excited about that. Um, and there's a few other things I wanted to get into too. Um, but I do a show. Well, I originally was going to do like a morning show called um, Morning Cup of Jeff, and that kind of originated from the X, Twitter. It's going to do stuff on there and everything, and then I just was like, all right, well, that's cool and all, but it limits you on music, and you can't do it really that much with music, and so but you can do it, talking and stuff like that. So when I do talking stuff, which I plan on definitely continuing this, um, I'm gonna probably broadcast on there as well. Um, or I might even have segments where I just broadcast on X, because what's really cool about that is I like the fact of having a special guest and just the accessibility with, you don't need to have another program necessarily set up to have a special guest on. You can just have your Twitter account and, or your X account, and then you can have a special guest. You can actually have multiple people interact and talk, and you can have more than one speaker, and they can just, if they're practice good etiquette or whatever, they can just come in and talk. And that's really cool. So it's a really, and you see the person's icon, and then you can click on their icon. You can look at their X account, and then kind of, so it's called Spaces on X. It's really cool. But the only limited thing is like, and that could be a copyright thing, and I get that. That could be that the fact that um you can't really I've heard people play music before, but it's like, seems like it's kind of limited, or they do something to it so it distorts the quality, because I've heard good vocal quality um going over there. I don't know what the exact hertz are, or what. I should look into that probably. But yeah, it's it's definitely a solid program, but then it has its audio limitations. Um, so yeah, I mean, and also a little disclaimer. I mean, I've noticed that I'm kind of into fashion a lot. Um, and there was this cool show with people walking down the street in New York, and yet still I can't remember. I hope it comes back on, because it was, I think I followed the guy, but there's so many people that I follow. But there's this fashion guy who is really cool in New York City, and he goes up to people and he's just like, "Can I come back to your apartment?" And it's usually really eclectic people, and I think they vibe with him, and they know he's cool, and a lot of people do know him in New York or whatever. Um, but there is such just some amazing people and amazing apartments too. Um, but I remember now kind of go, and it's really neat how much of my roots I have been touching, which, if anybody knows about Michael Pollock, and how he talked about um, this native tribe that they went back to their roots, and they started hunting again, and then they started feeling better and not sick and all that. And because they just couldn't figure out why they were just getting sick and ill, and there was all these issues that were happening with this tribe, and then when because they were not hunting anymore, and it was just so embedded in their culture and their being, that because of life and because of just like circumstances, there are both, good and bad things in our roots, but the things that are good that really that we love, that we, in my case, I financially I had to sell um a lot of my actually all of my stuff. I had to my and I had a nice studio, and it was before COVID, and it was really painful, and um life went on, and I had a child, and I had an amazing radio show, and I just went on with life, and I had some personal problems, and then I just couldn't get the music out of my head. And no matter how much I think I tried to go on with just what was going on, like being a bud tender, and I ultimately ended up being let go and stuff like that. And that's a whole another thing. But I ended up and it ended up being one of the best things so far that has happened to me. And with that, I mean with finding myself, because I don't know why I had this saying before that I would say that if to ultimately find yourself, you need to completely lose yourself. And I think that it took a long time, and I don't really know if I even really know what that means, but it took a long time for me to really have that desire, first of all, not even like a drive yet, just the desire, which I think that physically, mentally, I'm still kind of working out the kinks and trying to incorporate like new rhythm in my life. Um, but it's slowly phasing in, and it took it took a long time, because but I've always been like playing my guitar, and I ended up like getting an acoustic guitar, and um but I felt like too something was missing, and then so creating like drums and um with a drum machine and computer, um and I did a lot of like internal stuff too, because I was really limited on what I had. And then I ultimately stopped pretty much doing the production and then went into DJing. And then that definitely that was more of a successful thing. And I was thinking about this the other day. I think that is because, now you have a finished product, and you're taking two finished products, and people used to not really look at the DJ. It's kind of interesting now, like the DJ is like, or like a DJ, like the concept of a DJ um is the center focus at these huge giant festivals, and that's cool, and I like the showing and everything, but sometimes that, if the DJ was just playing out a track, and at the end of the track, a DJ is going to maybe mix the last few bars, right? Of the track. And that might be a little boring to watch, but the DJ is doing a lot. He's listening to the sound, he is getting more records, he or she, right? Um, or on binary. I don't know. I don't want to make anybody mad or anything, but um, the DJ like did amazing technical things too that would be interesting to watch, but not everything that the DJ is doing during this experience might really be interesting to watch unless she or he is like a turntablist, right? Um and then you're constantly, or somebody who's just constantly mixing music, right? um so I don't know. It's just interesting that that is kind of like the focus when the DJ could not be doing something that interesting, but is about like creating that experience at the party, keeping the crowd going, pumping the crowd up, or making the people dance, making them have a good time. um or setting up for the next DJ, um kind of feeling the balance of the night and everything. There's a lot of things going on there. But then it's cool also that the DJ is, the main focus, because you can do a lot of interesting things. But I just don't like when people aren't, and then like it's they're kind of posing as whatever, as if they are. So um so I want to thank God and my family again for everything. Um and I'm gonna show my guitar here really quick. Oh, grab this guy. I don't even want to like take it. Look at how beautiful it looks on here. Oh my god. You see, it's a beauty. I don't even want to take that off because it's just so new with that. And you got a little smear there. I gotta rub them out. But I've been playing it, and it's been nice. About to plug it in a little bit. But yeah, this is a Stratocaster, Fender Stratocaster. It is the Mexican one. I'm gonna go put this away. Beautiful color, by the way, though. I mean, look at that. The like blue is my favorite color, and I was really digging this like kind of navy, or not navy, light blue, right? Um, I have this lighter here. It has this like kind of similar color. Hold on one second. All right. There we go. So yeah, I'm really digging that thing. Um and looking for this cool blue pick too. And I also have these Crocs that are that color. Like, I'm really digging that aqua kind of blue. Always did. Like, if you saw an ocean, like, I'm actually gonna take them off right now. Ooh, it feels like on my feet. It feels good. Like sometimes it's good just to put shoes on, like and then take them off. It's like It's usually like better to take them off. Um, when I was younger, and this was when I was in high school. I think was it? Yeah, no, I think his name was John. I don't know, but and I'm not going to give his last name for anonymity purposes and stuff. But it was, I think, we were like a trio. There was like three of us, four of us maybe at times. Um, and he was cool because um in certain ways and maybe not in other ways, but he introduced me to like a lot of cool punk rock. Um well, the punk rock scene, like bands I never heard about. Um I was always fascinated how there was different like groups, like, not sub like just not like different cliques almost. Like there was like punks, and there was like um metalheads, right? And then there was like the people that were skaters, and then there was the people that listened to alternative stuff, and maybe there was the you know what I mean? And then like maybe there was crossovers, but there was these, and like the whole ska scene, like that was kind of different, but like they might, they would dress according to like these little groups, and it was really interesting and really interesting. But when you think about that time period, and like if you went to a show, and like these a lot of people were really living and then there was the ravers too, right? That was a whole thing. And these people that were really living this music, going to these shows, or they were going to these raves, um and there's still things going on. I guess because I had my issues going on, I just kind of like separated from it and stopped really with kind of music. And like in a sense, like there was a madness with music with me. We're creating it, and then I had to come up with a show every week, and there was a lot of pressure there to do that. And it took time, but eventually I would get there. But it was a lot of listening to music that I didn't like to find stuff that I did like, and it was hours and hours and hours of doing that. So it was a lot of work to put that together. So I don't know. I'm kind of tired, so I think I'm going to end this, and I'll probably be back tomorrow evening, I think. Or like I don't know. It's kind of hard to broadcast in the evening, depending on like really what I want to do or whatever. Um, uh, Whoa! Almost knocked that guy down there. All right. I think I'm going to set up my guitar for a little bit and see how that sounds. Let's see here. Ooh. Okay. Got our overdrive is down. Clean all the way down. Okay. I'm going to go get my guitar. All right. Let me see here. Let's see. All right. Ooh. There we go. Easy tune. Well, it's in. Oh no. The amp's getting old. It's an older amp. I haven't taken it out in many years, so I don't know if it's actually going to work. This amplifier might not work. It's not cool. This one. There we go. I don't think this amplifier is going to work here. Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have to fix that. Okay. Let's shut this guy off here because that's bad. Well, I know the amplifier doesn't work. So let's try option B here, which is might work because this is powered. So I don't know. I think I did this before, and I think I did that didn't work. Sorry about that, but I think I did this before, and it does work. So just try this. Oh, Well, my microphone's in there, but it does work. It works. Oh, not so good. Yeah, I gotta go to amplifier. So I know I can plug into my sound card and then, but yeah, it's not really coming through. Is the gain all the way up? Well, the gain is low. Yeah, I get the bad signal. Yeah, I don't think the signal's that good, but just to get a little bit of an idea of it, a little bit of rock on here. That was some kind of gas thing behind me. That's just flat, I think. Oh God, that was really off. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a little strappy here. That's pretty good. Beautiful. All right. Thanks for tuning in.